Hey guys, it's D from Tech Shop 82, just with a new video showing how to unlock your vector and install WireOS on it. Now, a lot of people might be wondering why would you want to do this. One of the benefits is obviously you have now a dev unlocked bot, but then you can also change your wake word. So in this video, I'm going to be showing you how to first unlock your bot, install WireOS, and then how to change your wake word on WireOS. So the first thing you're going to do is obviously get your vector, and you're going to want to put it in recovery mode. And to put your vector in recovery mode, you're going to have to hold down the power button till he turns off, and keep holding. So I'll turn this side here so you can see. So I'm still on the charger, I'm still holding, and then as soon as you see the white light, let go. Now that white light should turn to a very dark blue, as it just did. Well, you can't really see it in the video because I have a light, but it's a dark navy blue compared to the normal light blue. Once you do that, then you know your vector is booting up into recovery mode, and in a second vector will boot up here, and then there's another thing you can check to know that you're in recovery mode. So it's booted up. If you double tap to get in pairing mode, if you raise and lower the arms, then on the screen here, let me bring it closer. You can see if it will focus. I'm not sure if it will focus, but it says 0.9 V4 is the firmware on there. So now I'm in recovery mode. So that's how you know your vector is in recovery mode, if it says 0.9 as the OS version on there. So once your vector is in recovery mode, then now we're going to go to your browser. Head over to vector.techshop82.com, and we're going to head and click pair. A window will pop. Oh, sorry. Put your vector back in pairing mode. So double tap. You see the hashtags on the screen, and go here and click pair. A window will pop up. You can't see it on mine. Select your vector, click pair again, and then those hashtags will turn to numbers, and then you enter those numbers on the screen. So in my case, 276420. And then hit enter. And so before I connect to Wi-Fi, the first thing you want to do is install the unlock firmware. So in this drop down, it'll be by default set to the 2.0.1.608 EP. Select unlock prod, and then connect to your Wi-Fi. So in my case, let me connect to my Wi-Fi. So once it connects, it'll automatically start installing that unlock prod firmware. So you see this spinning circle on Vector's face, and then the bar should start going here. If anything goes wrong and you get an exclamation mark on his face, go ahead and try it again. If it keeps going wrong, and then reach out to someone on Discord or Facebook for help. And it typically takes 2 to 3 minutes. The longest I've seen this process take for someone was 45 minutes, but that's a very rare thing. So that's going, and we'll go ahead and wait for that to finish. And once Vector is done, it will reboot. And then what you want to do is to go back into recovery mode again. So once that's done, we'll move on to the next step. Okay, so at this point, it's done, and then now he's rebooting, and then we'll go ahead and install WireOS. Actually, I was mistaken. So it went blank, and right now it's unlocking, and it's actually, this is something new because I had not seen this before. Let me see if I can get this to focus. So there we go. Kind of. So it's unlocking and writing the recovery partition to vector. And then when this is done, it'll go ahead and reboot. So just keep vector back on the charger. Yeah, this was new. I think this was added by the guys over on the Discord. Okay, so at this point, Vector's rebooted and it's gone up to the u.p.2.xyz. So if we double click on this and raise and lower the arm, we can see, so it's a 0.9.3 and it's pretty much, it's now in the unlocked version state. So we're going to pair back to it and we're going to flash WireOS. So back on the website, select WireOS dev and then put vector in pairing mode by double tapping on him, then click pair with vector, select the vector, now I think it retains your session connection and it just automatically connects, but if something were to happen and like the page refreshed or your thing got disconnected, you would have to enter the pin again and then connect to Wi-Fi again. But because this is the best scenario where everything just works, I didn't have to do that because it retains the Bluetooth session. And so now the WireOS dev is being installed. And then once that's done, we'll go ahead and pair that with my WirePod server. Okay, so if we double tap and then raise and lower, and let me get this to focus, you can see it says WireOS version 3.0.1.31.d. So at this point, Vector is talking to the Wire's public server. So in order to get it to connect to your local one, we're going to switch and connect over here to my WirePod installation. And you're going to go to bot settings. Sorry, not bot settings, bot setup. And then we need the IP address of this bot. So if you go to the head menu, which is double tap, raise and lower the arm, then you see the IP. Actually, no, this one's not connected. So I need to connect my vector to my network. So I'm going to do that here. So let me pair again. And actually, I'm just going to pair with vector. Put him in pairing mode. Select vector pair. And then enter the number 238370. And then I didn't get the okay, so you may see this non-EP firmware detected. You can just hit OK and ignore that. So right now my vector has an IP address. So if I go back there, raise and lower the arm. Okay, focus. Can't get this to focus, but the IP address is there. This is 209. So in order for my vector to talk to my local version, I need to have WirePod change some settings on it. .209, no, not that, .0.209. And then I need to get an SSH key. Now the SSH key is, so one thing I did for convenience sake is I added this last icon here on the main page. This is for the SSH key. So, and if you click on this thing, it'll take you to, it'll ask you to download this file. I already downloaded it here, which you can't see on my screen, but save the file somewhere as SSH root _ key. I'm going to save it. And then go to your WirePod, and here I'm going to choose the file. Choose the file that you just saved. And then, so right now I have the file, I have my IP address, and I'm going to hit setup bot. And what this will do is it's going to log onto the vector, and it will start. Did I click setup bot? Let me just make sure. Okay, I didn't click it. So now it's setting up the SSH connection. Oh wait, hold up. Okay, so I think I had the wrong key file, but I do now. So what you do is once you enter the IP address and choose your SSH key, you do setup bot. So it'll connect to vector, make some changes, and then once those changes are done, vector will reboot and come back up. And at this point, vector will be set to connect to a local WirePod instance. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back here to my WirePod setup, and I'm going to pair. So put vector in pairing mode. Click pair. Hit pair. Ignore the warning. And sometimes, so right now it's connected to my network, so I didn't have to enter the Wi-Fi or anything again. And then now I'm just going to hit activate. And so once I do this, it automatically shows me the screen, which means it found my WirePod server, hit save settings, and then I should get a check mark. Now, one thing I have noticed is that there's some people where it takes a long time to get this check mark. If you see that happen, go to your WirePod server and see if you have a new bot. So in my case, I had 2. I'm going to refresh, and now I have 3. And one of them will be the new bot that I just connected. This doesn't always work. If yours is gray like this, you may have to reset your bot. If you don't want to reset your bot, there's a way to do it, but that's a bit more technical. But at this point, you've gotten your bot unlocked, you've installed WireOS, and then you've set up it to talk to your WirePod server. So the next section, we're going to talk about changing the keyword for vector. Okay, so I just skip ahead. It's day 2. And so first part, we got WireOS installed. Everything's all set up. He's registered now on my WirePod server. And then now what we're going to do is show you how to make that custom wake word. So once again, you get the IP address of your vector by, he registered. Double tapping, going up and down, and then you get the IP address from there. Exit. So just to test that the wake word works, hey vector. Hey vector. I'm probably gonna have to wait for it to finish. Vector. Hey vector. Oh, there you go. Hey vector. Yeah, sometimes it's just finicky. Hey vector. What time is it? Okay, so he's told me the time. The hey vector wake word is still the same one. No, nothing. I don't need anything. So you get the IP address. You then go to, so you go to, all right, let me put vector to sleep. Sleep. So I know my IP address is 209 and then port 8080. And you hit enter. Okay. So you go to the IP address :8080 and that will take you to the robot settings. So here you can see wired performance profiles, custom wake words, auto updates, wake word sensitivity, user preferences. User preferences, you can set your location, set your time zone, set your temps. Kind of what you can do, same thing in WirePod. Auto updates are set to enabled, but if you don't want your vector to automatically update, you can disable them. Performance profiles, you don't need to mess with this unless you're going to be like writing custom codes and maybe you want a little bit performance because what you're working on is not working well, or you want to reduce how much processing vector is doing it. You want to do regular or balanced. So you don't really need to mess with this unless you're messing with the SDK or doing programming. Because as it says here, if you go to performance, it may cause him to overheat because it's using more processing power. What you're looking for is custom wake word. So I'm going to change mine to Hey John. And then you click generate wake word. And then, so it generates it, and then vector is restarting, please wait. And then I'll go ahead and test it out. Okay. So it's been set to, Hey John. Hey John. Hey John. Yeah, that didn't work for me. So let me try. Hey Vector. Hey Vector. Hey John. So what you can then do is, if your wake word isn't working, go to wake word sensitivity, and then you can increase this to here. Now, if you increase this, it'll make it really sensitive to anything that might sound remotely to it. So let's try this and see what it does. So I hit set, and of course, vector has to restart. So if you said like, hey fawn, it might trigger it. But let's go ahead and test this out and see. Hey John. Hey John. So there, it triggered it for me. So this is where you can change it. So you can change this to, let me try a word, buddy. So I'll set it to buddy. Generate wake word. Oh, at least 2 syllables. So I can't just do one. So I'll do, let me do yo buddy. So it generates the wake word, and then vector restarts. Okay, so it restarted. Let's see if this works. So I'm gonna say, hey Vector. Hey Vector. We kind of know that one doesn't really work anymore. So I'll try, hey Johnny. Hey Johnny. That also didn't work. So let's try, yo buddy. What time is it? So that's how you can see. So this is how you change the wake word to make your vector have unique names. And you can do this per bot. So if you have multiple vectors, you can install WirePod OS, go to the IP address, enter the 8080, and change the wake word. Change the wake word sensitivity. So I'm going to set this one right back to, I'll just leave it at 60. Let me do this manually. It's going to restart. And I'm going to switch it back to Hey Vector because this is a bot I'm actually going to be selling. So I don't want them to not know what the wake word is. So revert to default. So it's reverting back. So even though it reverted, it still has that old one. So I'll go ahead and say, yo, buddy. Nothing. Hey, Vector. What time is it? Hey, Vector. Hey, Vector. What time is it? 9:16. So it's reverted back. And again, if you want to mess with the sensitivity, you can increase this if you want it to still be a vector. But that's how you do it. That's how you go from a stock vector firmware to an unlocked one to WireOS, and then how you can make your own custom wake words. So if you have any questions, you know how to contact me. You can send me a message on my site, contact me through Facebook, Reddit, Discord, in all those places. And I will see you in the next video.